So, welcome everyone to the Power Half Hour. Today we have a very unique guest, actually. Like I said, every single week we interview top agents from all over North America. But this week, we have a human design specialist coach coming to us from Sweden, Abbey Rae Wilson. Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to introduce everybody to this magic that is human design and tell you a little bit about it.
Really, I'm super excited about it. I watched a couple of YouTubes that you had sent me, and I'm still completely oblivious to what it is. Like I said, I've been to Tony Robbins, I've been to Landmark, PSI, I've been to NLP, anything and everything personal development. I've never heard of this. So tell us, Abby, what is human design?
Wow. So the question of what is human design, it's always quite hard to fully explain in one sentence because the sort of what everybody gets from it is completely different. You know, it serves people in different ways. But from a more like logical sense, human design is known as the science of differentiation. It's why you are different to me, why I am different to you, and how. And when it's almost like a blueprint, you know, so it is based on your time of birth, your time, date, and place of birth. And this blueprint is created that is kind of like your soul's map, you know, so, but it is this fusion of not only astrology, it's also the chakra system, it's the Chinese I Ching, it's many other like ancient modalities that, you know, have been used for thousands of years, but they've all come together in this one place to create your human design. And essentially, you know, what it does, it's about aligning you to your inner world, you know, aligning you to what feels natural to you, to your why, you know, why you are the way that you are, why you like what you like, and, you know, empowering you to actually step into that power, you know. I think, you know, the society that we live in, it kind of encourages us to be the same. And we are all unique. And the more that we allow ourselves to embody our differences, you know, your difference is actually your gift. Your difference is what you're here to bring, you know. So yeah, so that is kind of a very short summary of what human design is from a logical perspective.
So really, it's about combining all these different methodologies, like you said, astrology, I Ching, quantum physics, and a chakra system, all that combined to give you to navigate, to actually know thyself. And when you know thyself, then you can navigate yourself towards what you want a lot easier. I wrote down yesterday, fast track lane to success. What does that look like in regards to human design?
Yeah, so human design is really about aligning you to your natural self. So, you know, if you think about it, when you are in that, you know, when you're feeling in alignment, you're feeling natural in your energy is flowing. It is that sort of fast track towards what you want, you know, like what your soul wants, what you actually want, you know, and it's about releasing that conditioning, you know, that a lot of us feel, you know, those sort of those pressures of society or the conditioning that we that is put upon us, you know, by our peers and people around us. And it just allows you to, align to what feels natural to you and almost empower you within that. Gotcha. And so a lot of the clients that I work with, you know, if I'm doing a one-on-one session, a lot of the things that you will hear are things that you kind of already know about yourself, but you're like, oh my God, like this makes sense now. And I can use that, you know? So.
Interesting. So it's nothing that you don't already know, but now it's kind of like having you discover why you do what you do and what you're motivated by and why you're motivated by that.
Yes.
By finding out your human design. So based on that, I do want you to help us explain what are manifestors, manifesting generators, projectors, reflectors. Like it's
Yeah.
about your aura, your authority, and your life profile.
Mm-hmm.
What's all that about?
Yeah, that's amazing. But I love that you've done your research. Yeah. So there's many layers of human design, and that is because of how many modalities like it brings together. So it's so rich with information. And I kind of call like the big three, it is your energy type, your authority, and your life profile. And these three elements are sort of like the things that you're to master in the beginning, if you like. So your energy type is essentially your aura, and it's almost like what your energy says about you before you even speak. How you move through the world energetically, your energy levels, how to attune to how to flow with it within your own energy. And yeah, so there's 5 different types, like you mentioned there is a manifestor, a generator, manifesting generator, projector, and reflector. And each one, they are, some are more common than others. For example, the reflector, it's 1% of the population is a reflector. So
what is a reflector?
A reflector, they're almost like a mirror, so they're very, they are very like wise and empathetic, to their surroundings. They take in a lot of the surroundings. So they're almost like, we call them like, they're kind of like chameleons, but their sort of like essence and their job, if you like, what they're here to bring is they're here to show us where we're going right and where we're going wrong. So that's almost like their service to society. And of course, like if your energy is sort of like 1% of people, a lot of reflectors that I've worked with, not as many as the other energy types, of course, but a lot that I have worked with, it's like they feel seen, it's like their whole life, because they've operated differently to 99% of people. So it's very affirming in that sense. Then of course we have the projectors, who are, I kind of see the projectors, they're like birds in the trees. They're the people who really have that that higher perspective on things. So in terms of business and things like that, projectors are really good advisors. They are good managers or people to go to sort of ask. I know the projectors I have in my own life, when I'm looking for advice or anything like that, they're the people that I turn to, and then we have the manifesting generators, which I am a manifesting generator. And manifesting generators are really kind of expanders. They are people who kind of do life a little bit differently. They have a lot of passions, they tend to pivot through different things that they like. And, understanding that as a manifesting generator is important because, like sometimes for example, sometimes I've already learned what I needed to learn for something and I'm ready to move on. But a lot of the times I could hold myself back in that because I can say, oh no, but I have to finish it. It's this sort of like conditioning of society. So understanding, my multi-passion is just my energy has been really affirming for me in that. And then we have manifestors, which they are the sort of the initiators. They're the ones that sort of tell us where we're going. They're the ones that tell us what to do. They're only about 8% of the population as well, so not as many as we think. And generators are the doers. So generators are the ones that bring the energy into the room. They're those people that light up the room when you walk in, and they're here to really bring us that momentum, to uplift us, to inspire us. So yeah.
That's great. And, out of those to us, salespeople, because in the sales sense, we have 4 types of personalities: driver, amiable, analytical, and expressive. And we are all inherently one of them, but we may become versatile. With these types that you say, are you inherently one of them? And you just figure out who you are, but can you be others?
No, we can be influenced, right?
Okay.
Like we can be influenced by people that we're around, so a human design, you essentially have your own chart, but this chart can be influenced by people that you are around, but you have to get to know your chart, that's you as an individual. And so your energy types are static, but it's really about, really allowing yourself to embrace your type, because that's what you're designed to be here and to do and to bring to the world,
So in fact, it's not designed. You're already designed a certain way as a human being. You just need, with this program here that you have, you just find out who you are and go more towards that and align with that, so you can fast track your success. With this type of work, you can even find out your highs and lows, why you judge people, why you overthink, even your digestion. Tell us about that. Does it affect you physiologically as well? How does that work?
So the centers, so we have in the human design chart, we have different centers, so different shapes on your chart, and that is connected to the chakra system. And each of those chakras or those centers, they relate to a different physiological part of our body. So, for example, a part of the chart that I love a lot is the heart center. And with the heart center, most of us are using it in the wrong way, because we are conditioned to believe that, in order to reach success, we have to push, hustle, grind 24/7. And that may be right for some of us, but it's not entirely correct for all of us.
Right.
And so what happens physiologically, we can see this in the world that, heart disease is related to stress. It's the biggest disease on the planet. And, these sort of correlations are, I find them fascinating, because we can actually see how they correlate with real time and reality. So yeah, but digestion is a deeper aspect of human design. So digestion, there's around 12 types, if I'm remembering correctly, but there's 12 types. And it can just be how you digest your food, or how you, where you are when you eat, or there's many different factors that influence this. And what I love about it is it's not just about food. Food is essentially information that we put in our body, that communicates with our cells and brings nourishment to our cells. And it's the same with information, like things that we learn and, the world that we take in. That's also things that we digest.
Okay, got it. Really, not just your digestive system.
Yeah,
got it. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it is that as well,
right,
but those two things, and that's what I kind of love. It brings all of these perspectives together.
Understood. Wow. So this really is all encompassing. It's your energy, it's your physiology, and it's also who you are and why you are who you are. So I want to know, how does this relate to what we do? Because we are real estate agents, and you said you have some real estate agent clients as well. Realtors, if we can all agree, what we all want is more money. Help more families buy and sell a home. And we want to be happy.
Mhm.
How do you help real estate agent clients?
I think, like the fundamental part of any business is when you can only show up for others as much as you show up for yourself. And this is, essentially like connecting to what feels right to you, because whatever feels right to you, the reflection is going to be on the outside. So if you feel abundant within, abundance is going to be on the outside as well. It's going to come to you. And so I really think it can help in so many ways, because within human design, we are able to see, how you manage your stress, how stress maybe shows up for you, how motivation shows up for you, direction, purpose, how you best express yourself, and of course, when it comes to, the real estate industry and what you guys do, understanding how you show up and how you can speak to your clients with impact is really important.
Yes,
it's a really
it
big
is.
part of the job.
Yeah.
And this definitely contributes to that. But again, managing your stress levels, knowing how to make decisions, I think for me personally, understanding, so this is your authority in human design. So it's one of the three. So understanding, my authority, how I best make decisions, has literally, it's the thing that hooked me into human design, because it was like an overnight change when I started making decisions in that way. I just noticed like things just felt easier. Things, started flowing. I didn't feel stressed or overcommitted or, and when it comes to business, we have to make decisions every day, and it definitely, helps you align to what decisions are correct for you. If you know where you're making them from, is an aligned place. I could go on and on.
Yeah, I mean, this is really, really good, because a lot of us in real estate, we're in this state of anxiety, fear, doubt. Almost always, I can't say I speak for everyone, but I'm saying a lot of real estate agents are in that state. So we keep grinding and we work hard to get through that. We take action, right, to get rid of that fear, doubt, anxiety. So what you're saying is this path might get a little bit easier with a little bit more flow and with a lot less stress.
Yeah.
So,
and sorry.
With that being said, what does that look like if you were to help us real estate agents? Talk us through the program.
Yeah. So at the moment, I am a manifesting generator. So I have a lot of different passions, and I like a lot of variety in the way that I do things. So I, at the moment, as I'm developing some other coaching courses within my business, I am offering at the moment one-to-one sessions. And so there's a couple of different ones that I'm offering. The first one is just a general session. So in this general session, I go through, those big three parts of your design. So your energy type, I go into great detail as to, how that can show up in your life. And it's in a very supportive space, so you are free to ask me anything you want. Then we talk about, your decision making and how the tools that you can use to uplift yourself in decision making, feel powerful in how you're making your decisions, and then your life profile. And your life profile talks a lot about, how others see you, how you see yourself, how you learn best, which is another part of, something that helps us in our business, is knowing how we learn best, how we best can learn a new skill that we want to adopt in our business, or something like that. And then I walk you through your chart. So
Got
I do like, I bring in, and often when I'm reading a chart, I often see like a lot of themes that pop up as well, things that I feel like are a big purpose maybe for you. And yeah, we discuss those. And the other two sessions I have, one is clarity, which is very much tailored to creating clarity in your chart so you feel connected to it, looking at these fears and vulnerabilities that you can feel, these doubts, and where they show up, and how you can actually use fear as a tool rather than feeling like than drowning in it. Rather see how we can use it instead. And my last offering is a business session. So this is just to get clear on possibly where abundance is for you in this lifetime, and how you can really align to where your prosperity is within your design.
Amazing.
So yeah, that's a lot.
Who doesn't want more clarity? Who doesn't want more, less stress and, live life by design, right? I think it's pretty straightforward. So how did you come across this whole program? Where did you find it? Like, how did you get into it?
Yeah, so I was living in China a couple of years ago. I was living in China for 4 years, and I went to like an energy healing session. And after that session, the therapist, she asked me, "Have you ever heard of human design?" And I was like, "No, but like I'm open-minded. Like, show me what it is." And she explained it to me, and I was like, "Oh, that's really cool." And so what happened was I was just, it piqued my interest, and so I just started, diving in and, I got my own, coach, someone who helped me and talked me through my design. And it wasn't enough. I wanted to know more, and I still want to know more. Like 4 years later, I'm still like, I want to know more, like, and it was originally just for me to discover myself, like feel aligned in myself. But what started to happen, and another amazing thing about human design, is how it can help your relationships too. Is we start to see that we are individuals, like how I make decisions, my brother may make decisions differently, and I may have a mindset like this, and you're able to see people from a different lens. And yeah, and then people started asking me like, "Oh, like, can you tell me my design?" And I was like, "Okay, I know a little bit." And and it just kind of went from there, to be honest.
Awesome.
So,
Awesome.
yeah.
So you were trying to find out, what human design is like, and then you wanted more and more and more. Now you are a specialist in it. What did you do before for work?
I was a teacher. So
Oh.
I have been a kindergarten teacher for 10 years.
Wow.
And yeah, so I thought when I was first transitioning from teaching into, doing my business full time, I was like, "Oh, they're so different. Like, this is so much different." But I realized I'm kind of educating in the same way,
Exactly.
I'm using that same tool, that same experience that I've had before.
Yeah,
Which is
and real
amazing.
estate agents are like kindergarten kids anyway, so you're probably practically in the same business. Now, this is all really, really good. And I've never heard of this before, and it's just something that I really want to explore more. Who doesn't want more clarity? Who doesn't want to make more powerful decisions? Who doesn't want to have more flow in their business, their life, and their relationships? So my question is, how do you help us live an abundant life?
Yeah, so it really is by guiding you into your natural self. It's really not about, a lot of the time, it's about unlearning what we were told to be and feeling empowered to step into like what feels natural to you. you know, and I find with a lot of my clients, you know, it's very, as I said before, they feel seen. They feel like, oh my gosh, like I've never sort of looked at myself in that way. You know, it's, for example, like something I found in my own design was I never thought I was super assertive. You know, I thought I was very open-minded and like isn't it a bad thing to be open-minded? Like, what's my opinion about something? But human design really sort of reframed how I seen different attributes that I already know that I have. You know, so instead of me thinking like, oh my God, I'm too open-minded, now I see it as like such a gift. I'm like, oh, like I'm someone that can bring this perspective to other people. Like I'm someone who can show others different ways of being, of living, of thinking, you know, and that is like, you know, to me, that's an abundant life, being yourself and feeling empowered to just be all that you are, you know, nothing less. That's abundance.
It really is. Yeah, I think it's about true happiness is being yourself. It's about being of service. It's but you can't be of service unless you really are when you know yourself, right? So you can contribute to others. That's really, really good. Any last insight you have to leave us today with something that we could take to our day and make it a great 2022? What would you leave us with?
I would really say, this is just coming to mind, and it's something that I say quite often, is that you cannot pour from an empty cup. You know, like you have to, you know, fill up your own well, your own cup first. And that is how you give. Because once you are filled up, you overflow. And that's your service, you know? So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
You can't pour from an empty cup. It's just it's common sense. Thank you.
It's impossible, you know.
So if you were to want to get involved in your program or find out more about you, Abbey, where can we reach you?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at Abbey Rae Wilson, or you can also go to my website, which is www.unearthedsoul.com. And there's also a free download on there. So if you want to read a little bit more about human design, about the different energy types, you can download it for free on my website and have a little look around. And yeah, if there's, you know, something that is calling to you, a session or one of my ebooks or anything like that, then you can find it all there. So
I'm curious, just before we get off here, if you were to help a real estate agent client, what kind of results should they expect?
I think, you know, for me, like when it comes to human design, it is about implementing these tools in your life. So the tools that I give you, it's almost like, you know, you have to make a commitment to yourself to actually use them. But what I find in a lot of my clients that have really sort of committed and allowed themselves to step into, you know, their energy type, to making decisions in a way that is aligned, they feel more flow, you know, more satisfaction, more peace, more delight, more, you know, more success, you know, and it's just like giving you those tools to get towards those feelings that you want to feel, because actually everything that you imagine for yourself is on that frequency of that feeling. Anyway, and you've just got to meet it, you know.
Gotcha. So human design, guys, makes you feel good, and when you feel good, you're in the same vibration and frequency as the things that you want. Abbey, that was great. Thank you so much for being here today. I look forward to learning more. I'll be checking out your website and we'll be chatting, but thank you for today.
Thank you so much.
All the best, guys. Get a great day.
Bye.
Bye.